Hello there everybody, I'm Kim Gow from Colour Passion. Today I thought we would do something with some iridescent film. I think you can look it up on Amazon under iridescent window film. Excuse me. I just thought we would use that like as a base, and we'll do an ocean pour over that. So we've got the iridescent coming through the lacing of the waves. I'll use the Passion Topsail White. Beach sand luster makes a beautiful sand colour, if you're in Australia of course. I'm going to use some aqua gel tint, and I'm thinking I might mix the blue luster with maybe some blue Passion, just to make it a little bit dark but not too dark. And then of course I'll add in our Max White Sparkle. I always do that into the deep pool because I love a bit of sparkle. Anyway, let's go and have some fun, and hopefully, I haven't done this before, so between the two of us, or all of us, we can learn something. Okay then, I'll see you back in a moment. Okay, here we go. We're going to be doing something different here. I've got the board, and I've got some, I've had this for a long time. It's quite thick, and it's the iridescent that I want on it, and I thought we'd have a go and use it as our underneath background, and we'll put some beach sand, and we'll do some wave action across the top there with the blue in the background. So I'll give that a go. So first of all, what I need to do is I need to adhere it to the board. So I just want to make like a line down here. In fact, I'll just probably cut it straight down if I can get all of it. Okay, and just put it down. And then what I'll do is I'll apply the gel. I'm going to be using this one here. Just burst into the light one, sorry. I'm going to be using this one here, which is the Liquitex Gloss Gel. I saw it actually on another video, and I thought, yeah, that was probably a pretty good idea. So I'm going to use that and see how we go with it. Okay. So what we might do, I'll just put it over and smear it. Actually might, I think probably I'll get some gloves on and smear it with my hand, because that often works quite well. So let's do that. And then I won't get glue on everything. That's another good thing to pay attention to. Okay. So what I want to do, I want to make sure that it's well and truly over, so that the iridescent paper there, or plastic, can stick to it well. So I'm going to apply that, then I'm going to actually let it dry on there well and truly before I put any resin on. So this will be a few stages to get this done. Don't know if I'm going to put it across the bottom. I think I'll just leave that open if I want to, and then I can do another board. And maybe if I'm really happy with it, I'll do what we call a diptych, which is 2. And they can go side by side on a wall. Okay, so that looks like it's covered quite well. So now what we'll do, this has actually got a plastic covering. So what I want to do is I need to get that off. There we are. Okay. Oh, this is going to be really pretty. So what we'll do now is we'll just put it over like so. Put it down. Then what I want to do is I want to smooth it, so I think maybe just a soft cloth would help do that. Still got the lines down because it's been bent for a while. I might even have to put it up and try it another way, but anyway, we'll just try this first. There is a little grain there of something. I try and get that off. Just right there it is. There we go. There we go, just to make sure that we've got any air bubbles out before we put it under some weight, to make sure that it's all flat before we do our resin work on it. So I sound a bit apprehensive. I should do, because I've never done this before, and I'm keen to see how it turns out. But I'm thinking, well, this is the thing, you've got to remember my motto. It's if you don't give it a go, you're never gonna know. So here I am, giving it a go, and hopefully it will be amazing. All right, so I'm just going to leave that now, and I will, can't turn it over, can I? Because I've put glue there. Anyway, all right, but I'll put something on here just to weight it, just to make sure that it stays nice and flat. Okay then, we'll be back in the next step. All right, here we are. We've got our top cell. I'm going to be mixing the blue luster and the blue passion, and I'm going to pop a little bit of Max White Sparkle into that to add a little bit of pizzazz, and then we've got the aqua gel tint. So the beach sand luster is going to be for the sand, for the beach sand. So what I'll do is pop these to one side, and then, because we've now obviously got this adhered, so now we will just pop in an amount, and then I'll also do the other. So we've got, actually not going to use the white today, we'll just put on the underneath colours, which means we've got the blue, and we'll have the tint, and then clear just over here down towards the bottom, I'm thinking. We'll see how that goes. I might put something in, especially if we can see marks and things like that. So that being the case, looking at that colour, I think a really lovely one would be the Kimmy Shimmer or the Lorraine Shimmer, one or the other. So looking at that, we don't need a lot, just a little. So we'll see what happens. Okay, so first things first, we will pop in our beach sand luster. Remember, we always give it a stir. Okay. We've got, just looking at how much we've got here. Remember, it's that ratio, 5 to 10%. So 1 part colour, 10 parts resin. Let's see how that comes up. We've got to mix it properly into the resin. Yeah, I think I can put a bit more in there actually, because it's just a little bit light on for what I want. We don't double dip, obviously. Okay. Okay, I think that's a bit better for our consistency. So I want to make sure we've got coverage over our iridescent paper. Good. Okay, there's that one. Then we've got the top colour, sort of going out into the deeper ocean. I'm thinking we're going to try something different. Blue luster, which is gorgeous. This one is the limited edition. So once this is gone, we will have to make something similar, because we won't be able to get the exact colour. But I don't think there'll be an issue. We'll be able to, should be able to match it fairly closely with all the beautiful Colour Passion pigments at hand. Should be able to be no problems with that. Okay, so here, don't want a lot actually, I just want a small amount really, just to make it darker. Let's see how that goes. So never be afraid to try different things, because you might be pleasantly surprised at what ends up showing up for you. Oh, that's gorgeous. Yep, I think that's a great colour actually. So I'll just add a little bit of our Max White Sparkle, because you know what I'm like, I do love my sparkles. It's so light it goes everywhere, but that's great because that means it's not going to sink, it's going to float in the resin. I haven't put a real lot in, just enough just to, oh, that'll be pretty, pretty, pretty. All right, so we're going to put that on the top, and then I'm going to get the aqua and mix that up. Oh. And this one here. And the idea obviously is to be able to see the iridescent through it. So we've got that, and then I sort of want clear, but as I said to you, I'm just a bit nervous about some of these here, so I think I am going to add something to it. What is the question? I only want a very light amount. Actually, you know what? I think I'm going to use the blue luster again, and I'm just trying to think, because if I put clear, I'm going to be blowing over the white so it laces. So maybe I won't. Maybe I'll stick with the clear. That'll be fine. Okay, so here we go. Just going to be pouring the sand on. Up here and along. So I do want to make sure, obviously, that I'm covering up the edge of that iridescent plastic. And I'm just going to, with a spatula, just level this so that it's going to roll over the edge when we take off our tape. Up here a little bit more. Beautiful. All right, so that's that. Now what we'll do is we'll put our deep ocean up the top. It is so gorgeous, this colour. Good choice. Love it, love it, love it. Okay. So now we're just going to sort of, again, just sort of want to have it so that it can come down a little bit, so that it's looking like it's going to integrate with the gel tint that's going to be the next one. Okay, leave that for the moment there. Now we're going to put our gel tint on. Okay. This should, because we can see straight through it, this should give us a beautiful look. Oops, sorry. It'll give us a good look because it should reflect with the colours as well. That's what I'm hoping. We'll see what happens. Okay, just cleaning it up a little bit. I managed to drop that. Okay, so this is just the plain resin now. As I said, I know we can see straight through it, but by the time we get some waves happening, it will be fine. Up here. Okay, here we are. Got a phone call in between that, always happens. All right, so now I'm just breaking the bubbles that have been brought to the surface in the mixing process. So I'm just breaking them. Let's see how we go. All right, so we'll leave that for now, and then we will wait 20 minutes, and then I'll come and I'll remove that tape around. Okay, it's been around 20 minutes now. So now I'm just going to remove the tape and let things roll over the side. Just admit some of it's already run out because I obviously didn't make sure that it was really tight onto the side of the board. So this will now roll over. Make sure that all of this is covered. And along the top there, it's exactly the same as when we do the round board. We want to ensure that we have got coverage on that bottom third of the board on the edge. Okay. Just let that sit there for the minute. Okay. So I say we can see a few things which I really don't want to see at the moment, but once we get our waves in and push them up, then it's going to cover what I don't really want to be seen. There. Okay. Just going to put some more along here, just to make sure that we do in fact cover that edge of the iridescent paper. So this should encourage you to give it a go, because I am, and it's not exactly going as well as what I thought it would, but anyway, look, we've got to give it a go, otherwise we're not going to know, are we? And I will, as I said, I'm not going to do the white today for the lacing. I'm going to leave that, and once this cures, then I'm going to do that, and we'll see how we go with it. So I'm quite happy with that idea. And I'm just smoothing this around a bit because beach sand's never perfect anyway, as we know. I may even wait till this gets to near the setting point, and I might actually blow the heat gun over it to make marks in the sand. It's another thing. We can always try different things and do them. Putting it on to make sure we've got good coverage there. And I know it's going to roll off anyway, but it's because it's had time to sit, it's, you know, it shouldn't really just really pour off. So it's just going to allow us to hopefully have a nice edge, which is what I like. Okay, so that's it now. All right, I'll leave that now, I think. She says, and then I keep playing. Can't help myself. Is anybody out there like this? Let me know in the comments. I'll just do this, I'll just do that, and then, you know, 15 minutes later I'm still fiddling around. Anyway, all right, I promise you that's it. Okay then, we'll wait until this cures and I'll be back. Okay, so we're back here the next day. This is cured now, so now it's ready for the next step. I've mixed the resin, I stirred it up, and I'll pop a little bit into this white cup for our white, and then basically the rest will be enough. Yeah, it should be. We'll just pour over here. So I'm just spreading it over, and then I'll move it down to around where I want it, down here, and I'll be running the line of white just below it, and then we'll blow it, you know, the wave action back up with the heat gun. And of course, we've got way more resin than I need, but anyway, that's okay. I can always use that in a mould. Always have another little project on the side. Okay, happy with that, because I don't want it all straight or anything, so I want it to look like it's a natural shoreline. Okay, that's it. Alright, I should just wipe my hands clean of the resin, and we'll pop the white on. But first of all, I'll just break those bubbles. There's quite a few, or because it's cold, and that makes it worse. So we're just going along, popping them all like magic. Something therapeutic about it. Okay. Now the next bit is to pop in some of our white, the top cell white. Always giving it a stir, remember, first. And then just don't need a lot, but enough just to be that, no more than that 10%. Okay, give it a good mix. Want to make sure that that paste is well and truly mixed in with the resin. Okay, so here we go. Now I'm just going to push them into a point, which is what I love about these cups. Then I'm just going to run along the bottom, all the way across. Hopefully I had that right. I think I did, yep. Right, so now what we're going to do, I'm just going to heat that slightly first. Then I'm going to blow it with the heat gun. Turn it down a little bit. Okay, so I'm just going to hit that again with the torch to assist with the lacing. Then what we'll do is we'll just leave this, and then tomorrow I'll come and do the next layer. Like, this will be cured, and then I'll put the next wave in and we'll go across from there. Very good. Okay then, we'll be back tomorrow. Okay, here we are back again. Really impressed with how this has all come up. It's actually like a 3D when I look into that. You probably can't see that from this level, but I've mixed my resin for the next section. We're going to do another wave and then come up. I'll also pop some top cell white into into here, ready for our wave. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the rest of it over. Actually, that's what I was going to do, and I got sidetracked, sorry. I'm going to put a little bit of tint into that, because what that will do is it'll just add depth, and I'm quite happy about that idea. So just add it in. Maybe just a smidge more. The idea is that it will push this back, and then you'll see the new fresh white wave over the top. That's the plan. Okay, here we go, that's better. That's what I wanted, because it's totally transparent with the gel tint, which is what we wanted. Okay, so now it's going to smooth this up over here, and then it's just a matter of putting the next wave in. Don't want to have it exactly the same, but we do want to obviously have it going along so we can follow it. And then we'll put the white just in under that. So I'm not just with my fingers, actually, just make sure that's all covered nicely. It's so interesting trying different things, it really is. I mean, you never know how it's going to turn out, you just hope for the best. So here we go. So far, so good. It is a different technique here using this like this, but that's great. Just making sure that we have all of the resin off, and then we'll put that on its side, ready for next time. Okay. So I shall just wipe my fingers so I don't contaminate anything. It's got resin on it now. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to hit the resin there with a little torch, because obviously we've got lots of air bubbles that have been brought to the surface in the mixing process. Okay, so now I'm going to put our top cell white into our little container. Making sure we mix the paste with the resin thoroughly to make sure that it's all combined. Okay, so we've done that. So the next step is to push it to a point and then run it along the edge of the tint there. Oops, a little bit much probably. Just going to come along here. It is a little bit thicker than what I wanted. Anyway, we'll see how it goes. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to heat this up a little bit first. Again, it's breaking the bubbles, but it's also starting that heating process. So then I'll come through with the torch, the heat gun, and off we go again. Making sure I come across here. I'm going to make sure I don't want solid lines and things there. So that's quite happy with that. This way a little bit because I don't want it really all up in that blue, the deep sea. Sort of just want it down more into this area. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is, again, with the little torch, I'm just going to hit along so that those little cells, it will produce more and they'll open up like the ones underneath did. I feel I could do with a little bit more here actually. I think that's a little bit light on, so I might just put just a little bit more along here and blow it up. Let's see how that goes. Just because I think that it really is just a little bit too low. That's better. Just down a bit, just to gently blow it up. And go from there. And it's the thinning out of the white that is going to create that lacing. And that's what we want. That's what we're after. Beautiful, happy with that. So now what I'm going to do, as I said, like we did before, just going to run over the top and it'll do what it's going to do. It'll work its own magic because resin has a mind of its own. If you've been working with resin for a little while, you'll know that. You can do so much kind of knowing what the outcome's going to be, but often it's like it's in the hands of the gods. But see, I really love the depth that that's got there. I think that's really pretty. And once this is cured, I think it's going to turn out, it's going to look really lovely. I'll just put a little bit there and there. So I do want this to lace up. So it's looking like a splash, of water. Good. Okie dokie. Well, we'll leave that now and we'll see how that goes for tomorrow and we'll do a reveal. Hello, here we are for the reveal. I just wanted to bring you down and show you this lovely piece and how it turned out. You can see the depth is amazing, hard to see on a cloudy day. There's a little bit of sun just peeking through, so I ran out quickly to try and get it so I could show you. So you can see through the lacing there, that amazing iridescent paper from underneath shining through, and then the same in between those waves as well. Just a matter of catching it in that sun, sort of in the right angle. But it is very, very pretty. Really, really happy with that. And the beach sand across the bottom here has turned out really pretty. The waves, we've got nice lacing here, and as I said, underneath, just gorgeous, and a little bit of sparkle caught in up the top. Just fabulous. I have to say I'm really pleased with the outcome of this. So there we go. All right, so that's just another example of a beach pour with something a little different, having the added element of the iridescent paper, and I hope that's shared something that may interest you. If there's any comments you'd like to ask me about, please make them, or I'll ask the questions in the comment section below. Everything that I've used here I'll have in the description with links. And apart from that, if you've enjoyed this, please give me a thumbs up. If you haven't yet subscribed, as I'm building the channel, it would mean the world to me if you would consider doing that. And I'll continue on making more videos for you. Okay, that's about it for another wrap for another week from Colour Passion Land. So remember, if you don't give it a go, you're never going to know. Bye for now, everybody. Have a great week.